Hey guys, this is another video just on a few different updates, plans I have for my fish room or my fish tanks in my house, and hope you guys had a good Christmas. So I have some big plans for tanks being switched up, and I figured I'll make a little video on it, keep me to it, and just kind of keep you guys updated through the progress through it. I have these African cichlids in a 75 gallon. Before I had these piranhas in the 125, I had them in a 110 gallon tank. I've been trying to sell the tank, but really haven't been getting too many good offers, and been not really budging too much on the price because I kind of wouldn't mind keeping it, and just decided I'm going to keep it today and do this. So a little sneak peek, I got a wood panel and did an electrical switch to an extension cord I cut in half and then wired to the switch, so that way both lights turn on with that. And when I do the oxygen underneath or the CO2 underneath, it will be plugged into the lights as well. The panel's pretty easy to take off, and I only have like 6 screws into it. I'm gonna end up changing those out to like a better finish quality screw, but I might throw a clear coat on this, but not too bad. Quick little fix on this. But anyways, these guys were in a 110 gallon tank before, so I think I'm gonna do the same thing I did with this tank. Is might as well, while it's all down, is take it, strip all the silicone out of the 110, and then my plan is to build a stand for it, put it right here where this 75 gallon is, and after I reseal it, let it set, test it, and all that jazz, build a stand, and get these guys transferred into a 110. I think it'd be pretty having a bigger viewing panel, more space to swim. I can also get a couple more African cichlids in there if I wanted to. These guys are breeding a little bit. I have 2 of their babies I took out, and I was able to net and save, put those in my living room tank with some community fish. But that tank in there is a 65 gallon. It has a bunch of fake plants in it and whatnot, but it's kind of just a placeholder tank. Don't really know what I'm doing with it yet, but decided that once these guys go into the 110, that's all done, I'll take this 75 gallon tank and move it out. And I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say I'm sad to say this tank is not going so well for me with the salt water. I'm not really sure what I screwed up with the water parameters. My fish died, just kind of letting it sit and decide what I want to do. But I'm gonna try to resurrect this. I'm gonna take this 55 gallon, all this coral in it, or not coral, but dry rock, whatever rock, and buy another bag of sand, put that all in this 75 gallon tank right over here, right where this is. I'm gonna put the 75 gallon tank right here, put all this in it, and make it all it's my saltwater tank area. So my saltwater tank will be in here, set up, and these frogs will go into my living room tank with the gourami and the little guy back there. But these guys will go in the living room tank. All my community fish, there's just a few, will go into this 35 gallon tank, and this tank will go back in there right where the saltwater tank is. And hopefully I'll be able to turn this into maybe another planted tank. I might try and get into discus, we'll see. They're a pretty fish, I've never had them. Another different type of fish to have in the hobby, but as well as just gonna take some time to get it all set up, going through the process of everything, get everything switched around. You know, time is not always available, but we're gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna take my time with it, make sure it comes out good. And when I do the project, I want to make sure it comes out right. Very, very new to saltwater, so I'm excited to try it again or keep trying it. I think I may have rushed setting the tank up too long or too fast, and I should have waited a little longer, but it's all right. You live and you learn. The guy was probably right saying I need to let the tank run for a bit, so it did run for a few months. Unfortunately, the fish all died, but it is what it is. It'd be cool to get this all set up and have this 110 up in here instead of this 75 gallon. Get that all filled up with the saltwater stuff, and then be able to do something different with that 55. I am kind of limited with what I can put up here for tanks as far as weight, because I am on my second floor here. So I've had in this room this 75 gallon tank, as well as 3 55s with a 90 gallon setup out right outside here. So the 125 shouldn't be too bad. I had the 110 there before, and I had a 125 as well there in the past. So I do a lot of tank moving around, but that should be good out there. This just having the 110 here instead of a 75, as well as taking out this tank with this heavy rock and all that jazz, will be nice to move that out into another section where there's it can handle the weight a little different. But I will still be able to put a tank here, like I said, where the frog tank is, and right now I'll use that tank in here. Probably sell this 55 gallon setup with a stand and whatnot. And on the other side of this wall, I have another one that I used as a holding tank. So maybe I'll keep this one. I'll sell the other one because this one's a little nicer condition, or vice versa. Maybe I'll make some more money off this one, depending on what people want. But we'll see. I still have to show you guys my two bigger tanks. I have a 180 and a 200 gallon, and unfortunately I had my Stingray die before I even got to show him. I've had him for probably 7-8 months now. He was growing pretty good. He grew from like 4 to about 7.5-8 inch disc. It was pretty good sized, and seemed healthy. I'm not really sure what was up with him, but he just ended up passing away. He had some issue with his disc, had a little bit of fungus on it or something. I treated the tank. He seemed to be all right, and he just wasn't eating as much leading up to that. And I'm not sure if maybe my giraffe cat in there had nicked him and maybe was bullying him for food. And if that's the case, I feel bad that I put the giraffe cat in there, but I have to learn if that's the case or not before I get another Stingray, because I would like to own another Stingray, but do not want to put another Stingray in there if it's just gonna get killed by the giraffe cat. So if you guys have had any experience with that, the giraffe cat's only about 7 inches. It really just chills out. He hasn't seemed too aggressive, and whenever they did interact, he would just go over him and under him, and nobody really cared about being in each other's way. But I don't know, we'll see. Definitely will get another one. Just might have to do a little tank switch up. Otherwise, like I said, if I was able to put unlimited weight up here, I would put a bunch of tanks up here or downstairs. In my first floor, I have 2 tanks in my mud room. I just don't want to put too much more weight in there before I would have the floor collapse, and that would not be good. So limited, but filling it all up. That's why I was selling the 110 instead of keeping it, but decided, screw it, we're gonna put the 110 here instead of 75. The tank has such a big, pretty viewing panel. It makes me sad to get rid of it. And they're kind of hard to find 110s because of the depth and everything, but I believe the African cichlids will like that, having a deeper tank. And yeah, I figured this is a good little video. Hope you guys had a good Christmas, and see you guys soon in the next video.